Now, Yuli, I was pretty intrigued by your background and your decision to head up this organization. You bring a lot of private sector experience to this role, which is, something that I would say it may be outside of the norm for organizations like this, but I can definitely see the value in someone like you being able to enrich the advocacy work of your organization. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what interested you in taking on this role?
Yeah, so I think I've got to kind of go back to the beginning if that's going to be the case then. So, I'm the youngest son of Ignacio and Leonor Navarrete, and they immigrated here from Jalisco, Mexico. And I tell everyone that I come from agave farmers and shoe salesmen, is really what it is. My dad's side of the family, they ended up working the agave fields out in Jalisco, and my mom's side of the family, she didn't. They actually had a shoe store that they had. My dad dropped out of school after fifth grade to help the family finances, and my mom, she was fortunate enough to go ahead and finish secundaria, which is basically like secondary and obviously some college work. They both actually worked really hard and instilled some really solid work ethic and just really, really a love and an affinity for education and furthering ourselves. We were born here in this country, and my mom always used to tell us that, hey, we can aspire to be anything, even president of the United States if we wanted to. But education was key. And so that's been really good for us. They worked at Campbell's Soup. I realized pretty young that I didn't want to be a laborer like them. Between the two of them, they did over 60 years at the cannery. And so I tapped into my inner shoe salesperson and, went on and started doing some selling through like basically our fundraisers and did the candy sales and everything. And I realized early on that I had a knack for this. And so I upped the ante. I asked my mom for some help because I kind of ran out of territory out there. And so I remember her asking me, well, what kind of help do you need? And I said, well, I need a bigger territory is really what I need to do. And she said, okay, well, how many boxes do you think you can sell? And I said, all of them, kind of arrogantly and confidently. And so my mom, believing in me, she actually took our mortgage for that month. And she said, okay, we're going to prepay for all of these boxes. And your job is to go out and sell them now. And so with that pressure, I went door to door, sold everything I possibly could. I remember the last day of the sale, I had 6 boxes left and I was panicking because if I didn't sell those boxes, I didn't think we were going to have a place to stay. We weren't going to be able to pay for the house.
Oh my God.
And I remember asking my mom, just make one more stop, please, one more stop. And she said, okay. And I pointed over at the Caballo Blanco, which is the white horse. And it was a bar, actually, believe it or not. And this is back in the days when they still let kids go in the bars and probably look for their dads or what have you and stuff and bring them home. But I walked in there and offered each one of the gentlemen some chocolate. And each one of them turned me down until I got to the last person. And I remember he said no, and he kind of turned his back to me. And I turned to him and I said, well, don't you think your wife would probably be less mad at you for drinking, if you bring her home some chocolate? And then he turns to me and he's like, you know what, kid, I'll take a box. And then I'll take a box and I'll take a box and I'll take a box. And so I sold every single one of them. So
everybody at the bar was like, yep, this is my situation. This kid hit it, right?
That's exactly
wow.
it.
Talk about knowing your customer, huh?
Well, and that's exactly what it led to. I mean, I think that for me, I learned 2 things that day. One of them was that, I had this incredible work ethic. I don't know how to give up, really. You got to keep on trying, you got to keep on plugging away. And the second one was about Miata. And it's a personal mantra. It wasn't that back in the day, but it's the first day that it hit me. And it's make it about them always. And, it's my sales abilities really opened up some incredible opportunities for me because I always made it about my clients. I always made it about other people. It's a call to service, and it's a really call to help and support. And so it really opened up some really cool doors. And the first time I was introduced to Alas was actually through Arizona Alas. And so here I am in this room full of Latino leaders being in awe of all these folks that are making a difference for Latino kids. And I was impressed. And so I wanted to join, and I did. And so I spent the next 20 years really just kind of building relationships with everyone and supporting the organization through the companies I worked for, and really made the transition from being a quote unquote vendor to really being a partner and a thought leader, amongst them. And really just kind of helping them out, whether it was my product or not. It's always there to help a hand and lend a hand and kind of offer that support and help. And so that call to service, that being of service, that just continued to be my motto. And that's what it's all about. And so when this opportunity came up for Alas, I thought, why not? Get off the bench, get into the game. Let's go ahead and do something for everybody and bring that expertise that we have from the professional world into into this world, because although we're a not-for-profit, we are still a company that needs to be run that way. So yeah.